I was wondering if you were elected AS president, would you reduce your own stipend for the next year, or would you also push the current AS president to help lower the stipend of the presidency if you care about the students so much?
All right, now each of you will literally get 1 minute since we're already over time, and I will stand right here to enforce that.
Can we get more questions?
I need to know if this is for the win play is real or it's Photoshop. Real?
Alright, so yeah, I'm back again. I'm Ryan. So the question was about stipends, and okay, so first of all, I think it's like that the U.S. congressmen aren't allowed to set their own salary. It's highly unconstitutional, and I was one of the senators that was highly against this year's council of senators setting their own stipends. This was the first year that senators got stipends this year, and the senators voted it for themselves. I think that's something that's highly unethical, and that if the stipend of a position should be changed, it should be by the position that, or the person that held that position before. So that's probably a question that you should ask Wafa, is she is for her $10,000 salary. For me, it doesn't really make a difference. I ran for a beer senator when it was an unpaid position. It wasn't something that I tried to get some money out of. I wasn't trying to make a buck. The rest of my senators did enforce and vote a stipend in, so now I'm paid, but I ran when I was unpaid. And believe me, one of the main reasons for me running for president is not to get paid. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Jasmine Phillips again, running on Students First Play for President. I feel like that's a question of privilege. If you have the privilege to work basically full-time, the amount that it requires, I feel like you should be paid for that. Not because I don't care about students and I feel like $10,000 is just nothing, but for me personally, I work on campus amount of 30 to 40 hours a week so that I can pay my rent. So it's not, and I do a lot of my work that I do outside of like whatever positions I hold for free, I do. But in order to really dedicate time and commitment to this position, which I was told numerously through presidents that this is a full-time job. You can't be an AS president and hold outside positions to work. Your schedule just isn't that flexible. And so I feel like it's definitely a point of privilege for someone to be able to afford to not work, to be expected to not work in order to fully engage the students. Because this is a hard process. Like for me, like I feel like I have a lot of experience in the orgs, but I have to work in order to survive, in order to pay my rent, in order to make sure that I am here today. So I feel like that has to be acknowledged in that process. It isn't about, oh yeah, we just can't give money away. It's not like that at all. I feel like you have to really think about the positionality and how much time commitment it takes to be the president of Associated Students, especially if you have plans to take it beyond where it's been taken before. So I feel like you definitely have to keep that in mind when
I'd like to say that this is a very delicate question that would really require a conversation on whether or not there are so many different council members on that sit on AS council. There are council members that absolutely need that stipend to stay here on this campus and as well to just be a student here. So I would say that we need to kind of see if AS council thinks that that's something that the direction that we want to go towards, and it's not up to me as president, but whether or not our voting members believe that's something we would do. On a personal level, I would say that I've never done anything for any financial gain. In my experiences here, I've never been paid for the work that I've done. I currently serve as the Warren College Student Council president, and I don't get paid. So the work that I'm truly passionate about is not because of the financial gain. And I'm truly passionate about serving students and ensuring that the Associated Students is a strong organization that works for you. So in that question, I would say that we need to ensure that all council members have a conversation about that, and then it's not coming from a decision as AS president.
So, in the question of being paid, I think it's a delicate question. As other person mentioned, I think personally for me, I've never endeavored to seek financial or monetary, the same thing, gain for my season. I challenge anyone to find, or I think there's very few people that have schedules in terms of extracurricular activities that rival the ones that I've taken on. I don't get paid for any of them except for one committee. I do it all for my personal enjoyment, growth as a leader, and helping the students. and I didn't seek to run for the president for the financial gain. I recognize there are some individuals that serve on AS that may need these funds, and I think as the other candidate mentioned, it is a question of privilege to being able to ask to not take on this position because the work that the president does is equivalent to a full-time job if done properly. For me, I think it's a question that's really not for me to decide, but for the voting members. But personally, my view on it is it is a full-time job and it really should be paid as such.
I think AS should definitely eliminate all stipends. And I believe it's because that they think they have the power to do things that they don't actually delegate in the Constitution of AS. AS's Constitution states that all they have in their power is to fund events and for the students. There is nothing in there about resolutions, so we should end the resolutions and we should not get paid.
All right, thank you everyone for coming out here on such a beautiful day.